This mic arm is starting to give out. There we go. Welcome back. I don't sit up straight. Welcome back to the Cine-Ops podcast. The podcast where every episode we narrate and talk about a different movie, and then you walk away feeling like you saw the whole thing. Saved you a few hours. But it's all good vibes around here. I'm Alfie. I'm the host. I keep it lighthearted, pretty casual, pretty chill about everything. Pretty chill guy. I think my posture is getting bad on the podcast because this mic arm is starting to give out on me. Listen to that. Try to keep him up. I want to be a little higher. No, he wants to be. I want to come up here. I want to be straight. No, I got to be here. I got to be here. I mean, it's old. But this mic arm's been with me since when I did the first episode in April 2018. That was almost... we're almost in 2026. Man, and I'm still not any better. But anyway, I got an email, and it was from one of my buddies, right? One of my buddies checked out the podcast, and it was... He said it was good. And that's why I do it. I mean, I do it because, I want other people to enjoy like the storytelling, or maybe it'll interest the movie that they heard of, or it's just like a pastime, I mean, let me just put something that doesn't matter while I'm doing something that does matter. But, just either background noise or, bringing you into the movies, or you're a movie person, or you're a person that likes me, whatever the reason, welcome. Come on in. But this guy, he's one of my buddies, and we were actually in the Marines together. And he requested for me to do Ip Man 1 and 2. He's one of my buddies. Of course I'll oblige. But you're one of my buddies. Look, my buddy's name, we always called him Morty. Because when he first showed up, he was a kid. He was young. He felt, he was a little shifty in the things he said. Not shifty as in shady. Shifty as in, like, he wasn't sure of himself. You know what I mean? And when you're in the Marines, like, a lot of, What is it? What do you gotta be? You gotta be steady, right? You gotta be strong. You gotta be steady. He was unsure and uncertain. And we started calling him Morty. His name was Murphy. Called him Morty because he was kind of like first season of Rick and Morty. Morty's like, I'm not sure. But he was a good kid. And I was very lucky that he's one of my buddies. And I got to watch him grow up. And, I'm sure he went on to do more things. Everybody does. For that one small window of when my life and his life were together, I did see him grow up. And he became somebody that I was pretty proud of. And I'm pretty lucky to call him my friend. So Morty, this is your episode. These next two are your episode. I was going to do them both in one, but I'm having a little bit of trouble with the podcast host or anything like that. So if you don't see my episodes wherever you see them, like for podcasts, whether it's like Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, Amazon, whatever it is. So if you don't see my only audio podcasts anymore, they're still going to be on YouTube. Just Cine-Ops Pod, the Cine-Ops podcast on YouTube is going to be there. You're going to see me. Hey, here, welcome. Here you are. Yeah, I'll be there. So if you don't see me on the other platforms, I'll still be on YouTube. I don't know what's going on. It's all right. But Morty, these are your two episodes. You're my buddy, you're my bro, and I love you. For today's episode, we're doing Ip Man. And Ip Man is, if you're a fan of the pod, you follow me for a while, you know some of the things that I grew up loving. 1, serial killers. 2, kung fu. And this is a kung fu movie. It's a OG kung fu movie. Like, I hope that I don't even have to say this, but it takes place in this universe. In the when is it? 1930-ishes? Yeah. So in the 1930s, right? Let's say 1930s in China, in a town called Foshan, China. What am I gonna do about this microphone? But all right, so listen. It takes place in Foshan. Let's see here, Foshan, China, right? And everything is good. All right, this microphone is dying. This microphone is dying on me right now. Look at the video. Oh my goodness. Had to take a technical break because of the arm. I was talking bad about the arm. Turns out it was the desk was giving out. The corner of the desk. It was made of particle board. But look, here we are. Look at his arm. Look at his. Look at that. It'll last another 8 years. We'll be all right. If you ever wondered, this is it has like a foam, like a styrofoam in here, or an acoustic foam in here. There's not too much reverb. It catches the voice. You know what I mean? Not too much echo. And then I have a little screen here. I don't know if you can see it, but the actual mic is down here. You know, and I've had this arm and mic since 2018. And we're making it work, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people that I know that started podcasts and just other people in general, they have to wait. They do a lot of research, and I was the same way. I was like, I need to do a lot of research and make sure everything is perfect. And then one day I was like, I'm just gonna send it. I figured it out on the way. Little by little, we have. Look at this background. That took some time. But little by little, I figured, it's gonna be bad anyway. With the good equipment or not, it's gonna be bad regardless. I'll just be bad now. It'll be fine. And I haven't gotten better, but I'm used to and comfortable being bad at it. And I'm all right with that. But anyway, we took a quick break, fixed the arm. Arm is steady, posture's better. I feel good. I feel like I'm telling you a story. I feel like I'm narrating a story. That's good. All right. My buddy Murphy, my buddy Nolan Murphy, called him Morty. He's a great guy. And if you're watching, buddy, I love you, man. I love you. I hope you and your family doing all right. All right. Let me not run off in any more tangents. Let me get to this movie. Ip Man. In the movie Ip Man, it takes place in the 1930s, right? 1930s China. And he's a grand master. He's a master. They're going, Sifu, Sifu. Master Ip, right? Sifu. And I don't know what his job was, because it doesn't look like he had a martial arts school. We kind of just see him in his house, which he has a really nice house. And he's just a martial artist, right? We see him. Is my hair all right? We see him. He's already the best at Kung Fu. He's just chilling in his house. And we see, I don't remember in what order it happens in, but other people come and they're like, Sifu. We know it's like, I don't remember first if it was like another martial artist who owns a school. And he's like, look, I think I'm the best. I think I'm the best in town, but respectfully, I want to challenge you because I hear you're the best. I need to know what was going on. I need to know where I stand or something like that. And he was like, oh yeah, that's cool with me, because he's just super chill. He's like, yeah, let's do it. But his wife's like, oh, it's dinner time. It's lunchtime. We gotta do lunch. He's like, hey, let's just have some lunch. We'll do it after. And he's super chill. Like the whole time he's having dinner. And you can see his wife doesn't like the martial arts life. Like everything that comes with it, she doesn't like it. But she's respectful to his husband because it's 1930s China. And they finally finish their food, right? They finish their lunch. They have a cigarette, have a little cup of tea, a cigarette. And they're like, all right, let's do it. And they get ready, right? They get in their stances. Ip Man does Wing Chun. Right? So he does Wing Chun, and the other dude has like Southern Tiger style or something like that. And he's like, all right, let's begin. And they start doing Kung Fu, right? And they're doing their forms, and it's so cool, right? Kung Fu's always looks so cool. And they're doing Kung Fu super hard to each other. They're jumping back and forth. And they're doing it inside Master Ip's house, Ip Man's house. So he's like, you don't want to, drop the vase. You don't want to break the windows or break the table or anything like that. So they're doing martial arts to each other, doing Kung Fu to each other without breaking anything that's made of glass around them. And it's cool. And you're like, wow, martial arts and Kung Fu. Wow, this is a cool job. And it seems like they're evenly matched, but Ip Man never breaks a sweat, right? He counters and he waits and he listens to the earth or whatever he does. And in the end, he wins. Master Ip wins. And the dude tells him, oh, look, bro, I respect that you won. Could you please not don't tell anybody, please. Just between us, martial artists, respect and all that. Please don't tell anybody. But in the window, because everybody knows he's the Grand Master, he's Master Ip. So in the window, there's like a dude peeking, right? I forget what his name. He was like a young guy, and he was flying his kite, and he got stuck in the tree. He had to climb up there. He saw them fighting, so now he's like, whoa, I see what's happening. That's cool. I know what really happened. So he runs off. He tells all his friends. And then, of course, that news starts spreading. But anyway, then there's this other guy, right? I don't remember if it happened before or after. But then there's this other guy. And he's like also a martial artist. But he's obviously not respectful because he comes in. He has a crew with him. He's being aggressive. He's like, "You, I heard you're the best. Whatever, whatever." He's like disrespecting Wing Chun. Disrespecting Wing Chun because he's like, "Yeah, I heard it was a technique developed by a woman. And we hate that here in 1930s China." And he's like, "Oh yeah, well, let's just handle it then." Right? So he's like, "All right, you think your Wing Chun can style, whatever it is, like, whatever his style is, like." He's like, "Oh, you think you can beat me up in Kung Fu?" And of course, he's like super aggressive, super strong, always kind of like flaring up his muscles and doing a strong stance. And Ip Man, he's always like super chill, he does his stance, right? And they start doing Kung Fu. And they're doing Kung Fu. The dude's like trying his hardest to beat Ip Man. But Ip Man, he's just like, boom, catching them, flipping them, kicking them, doing Wing Chun to the sides, to the front, everything, bro. Not even breaking a sweat. He's Sifu. He's the Sifu. Boom, and he beats him, right? He beats the thug, beats him in his own style, and beats him in whatever he ready to do was super aggressive, beats him up. Him and the crew, they're like, "All right, you beat me, but that doesn't mean you're better than whatever," right? Super pissed, whatever. And he leaves. So now we've had the two masters. So he's already, it's probably like 10 minutes into the movie. He's been challenged twice, beat everybody already. Easy. He didn't even break a sweat. He didn't get angry. I don't even think he unbuttoned his Kung Fu shirt. Right. So then a whole bunch of stuff happens. You see different people in town that know him, right? Whenever he walks through town, he's like a very respected person. They're like, "Sifu." Oh, they're like, "Oh, good morning, Sifu. Sifu, good morning, Master Ip." His name is Ip. IP man. Ip. All right. So everybody's like, "Hey, good morning, Master Ip," and this and that. So when he comes towards like the martial arts school area, the first guy that challenged him is like, "Hey, I told you not to tell anybody. Now everybody's saying you beat me up, this and that, and now I'm losing credibility, whatever. Oh, I hate my life." Right? So Master Ip's like, "No, calm down. I didn't tell anybody." And then he talks with his buddy, right? And his buddy's like, "Hey, Master Ip, I'm thinking about opening up a cotton factory or a feather factory, whatever it is that they do over there." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do a feather factory." And I don't know if he asked him for advice or money or whatever it is, but he's like, "Oh, yeah, that'd be smart. Yeah, you should do it. Nothing bad is ever going to happen." 1 minute goes by. The Chinese-Japanese war happens. So now we saw everybody super chilling, has a good life. Everybody has food. His only worry in the world is to do Kung Fu whenever anybody wants some Kung Fu. Like they're not fighting for their lives. They're not starving. Life is good. Life is prosper. Everything was beautiful. Then the war happens, right? And the Japanese attack this area. Horrible stuff. The war. And now it's the complete opposite, right? We used to see kids playing everywhere, families laughing, stuff like that. But now everybody's dirty. They don't have food. Kids are miserable. People are miserable. People died in the war. Everything is. And the whole area is being ran by Japanese soldiers, right? They're just bullying them around and stuff like that, being dicks. And everybody's struggling for food. Even Master Ip, who, he used to be like, I don't know if he was like one of the richest people, but he was all right. He had a nice house where they were doing Kung Fu in the beginning. He had a nice house. And they're struggling, right? He's like, I'm gonna go out here and look for food. I'm gonna go see what I do, right? He tells his wife and his son, he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna go see what I can find, and then I'll be back. Wish me luck." He goes out and he's looking for work, and then he runs into a lot of the same people we saw in the beginning when life was great. He sees him again, right? And he runs into his buddy Lee. I think his name was Lee. And Lee's like, "Oh, Master Ip, what's up?" And everybody's dirty. I'm making it sound chill, but everybody's miserable. He's like, "Oh, Master Ip, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just looking for work, this and that." And he's like, "Oh, if you want, you could come with me at the coal, right? We shovel coal, just dirty coal. That's what we do over here." And they'll give us some lunch and a little bit of money for a lot of hard work. And he's like, "Oh, all right, yeah, I'll go." And Lee, he was buddies with him before all this happened. I think he used to own a restaurant, and he is the brother of the kid with the kite who saw Master Ip fighting the other Grand Master. He's that guy's little brother. So he's like, yeah, have you seen Nick? He's like, yeah, I'm looking for my little brother. Have you seen him at all? And he's like, nah, bro, I haven't seen him at all. Master Ip's like, I haven't seen him, man. But thanks for getting me a job. Let's just do this, shovel this coal. Let's just shovel this coal. And they're shoveling coal, and it's super hard, it's super dirty. And when it's lunchtime, they get a baked sweet potato and like a little bit of broth, right? Like a little broth in a bowl, in like a little metal bowl. It's like nothing, bro. I'm gonna need at least 2 cups of broth, brother. Give me 2 cups of broth. Keep the sweet potato. I'm not a sweet potato guy, but I'm just kidding. So the Japanese soldiers pull up, right? And there's a Chinese guy with them, and the Chinese guy that's with them, he's like the translator for him. He used to be the police officer of the area. So it's very like a bad look, right? Because he's living okay. Everybody else is like starving, dirty, have nothing. They're in fear. And he's like well dressed and everything. Like the Japanese treat him like a dog, right? They're kicking him around, bullying him around. But he has to translate because he has to tell all the Chinese people what they want him to do, stuff like that. So he looks like a traitor, right? It looks bad. He looks like a traitor. And the Japanese soldiers like, hey, we want anybody who says they can do kung fu. They're gonna come with us. They're gonna fight our karate guys, and if you win, you get 1 sack of rice. Bro, imagine a sack of rice. How good a sack of rice sounds when all you had was 2 cups of broth. Yeah, I'm gonna do some kung fu, right? But anyway, Master Ip's like, I don't know, that sounds kind of shady. But Lee's like, I'm gonna go, man, because you know what I mean. Ways you get hungry enough, you're gonna do anything. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to go, man. And if you find my tin can, he had like a little small tin can. He's like, oh, if you find my tin can, can you give it to my brother in case, you know, whatever? And Master Ip's like, yeah, I got you, bro. I got you. And what's nice about Master Ip, he's a super nice guy. Like he's always, you know, he's the best at Kung Fu. Super chill, super gentle. Like the best Kung Fu man. But anyway, so then we see Lee, right? He goes with the Japanese soldiers. So the way it's set up, when Lee goes to the dojo, it's like this dark dungeon, right? And at the top is the general, and then it's the colonel, right? The colonel who's like this little sleazeball. The general looks like an honorable karate man, and then the colonel's like a sleazeball, right? And they're making everybody fight for a sack of rice if you win, right? And the guy who's fighting, when they get there, the guy that's fighting, it's the grandmaster from the beginning, right? The one who was like, oh, why'd you tell everybody I lost to you, right? So it's that guy. He's doing kung fu. Boom, he does kung fu, he beats the first guy, and he gets a sack of rice, right? So the guy, the martial artist, he beats everybody up with kung fu, he grabs his rice, and he bows, right? He bows to him because they're technically like, they could kill him at any time. So he's like, thanks, guys. Thanks for the rice. And he leaves, right? And Lee's like, Sifu, Sifu. Right, so now the general, right? The general's like, this looks fun. Find me 3 guys that want to fight. And they don't even have to win, right? They'll get the rice regardless, win or lose. I just want to fight 3 guys. So three of them line up, and one of them is Lee. And the general gets down, right? The general gets down from where he's standing. He drops a blouse, and he gets ready, right? Hi. Right? He's ready to do kung fu against 3. Oh, he's doing karate, right? He's doing karate against the 3 dudes, and the fight starts, right? One of them is Lee. And they attack him, right? From 3 angles, they attack him. And he's good. Turns out this guy is good. He's real good at karate, right? And he like blocks him, kicks him, elbows. Block, kick, elbow. Retract, elbow. Whatever it is, right? He's doing karate, and he's knocking them out because most of them are just, you know, Lee, he knows kung fu. The other guys are just workers. They're just like civilians. They're just civilians, right? They already got kicked in the chest, and they're like, oh. I don't know if you've ever been kicked in the chest. I don't think I have. Anyway, it's not cool getting kicked in the chest super hard to where you go flying, right? So they go flying, and they look at each other. They're like, no, all right, we're good. But Lee, right? Lee, he's a proud kung fu man. He's like, nah, I ain't going down like that. And he gets back up, right? So the other 2, they're like, hey, we're out. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. And Lee keeps coming at him, right? And the dude's like, oh, damn, this dude, he's got heart, right? And he's punching him, doing kung fu, elbow to the throat, karate chop to the throat, everything, right? Everything to the throat, right? Just kicking the shit out of Lee. I'm like, oh no, Lee, no, because you know he doesn't have anything else. Lee doesn't have anything else. He hasn't seen his brother in forever. I don't know. He lost everything in the war. And he's like, you know what? I don't have anything else. I have this chance to fight this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go all out, right? And he's like fighting him as hard as he can, right? But the general, he grabs him, right? He grabs him. Lee's all bloody, and the general says something like, and he like spits blood into his face, right? Lee's like, that, like spits blood into his face, and the general gets super pissed. Boom, finishes Lee. That's the end of Lee. Right, and all the other people that were gonna fight, they're like, damn, bro, like, why is this happening? You know what I mean? Everybody can't believe it, right? So then, Ip Man's back at the coal site the next day, ready for work, and he's looking for his boy. He's like, hey, where's Lee, bro? Hey, have y'all seen Lee? He's asking around, where's Lee? And nobody has seen him. And he finds the tin can, right? The tin can that Lee was looking for. Of course, he finds it. That adds the emotional connection, right? He opens it up, and it's his brother's kite. The kite that he lost in the beginning, it's his brother's kite. He said, if I ever run into my brother again, I'm going to give it to him. Oh, and now Lee's gone, and we find, so Ip's like, he doesn't know what to do. He's eating his lunch, right? And the sweet thing about Ip Man, he always saves half of his sweet potato to take home to his family. So he's half, and then while he's having lunch, the soldiers come back again, right? And they're rounding up people that want to do kung fu. And the translator, hey, who wants to go? Who wants to earn some food? And Ip Man asks him, he's like, hey, where's Lee? And you know, obviously the dude's hiding something. He's like, hey, so if anybody wants to do kung fu, come now. He's like, hey, where's Lee? And he doesn't tell him. And Ip Man's, all right, I'm going today. He's like, no, you can't go. He's like, no, I'm going, right? So Ip goes. He goes to the dojo dungeon. And he's there, right? And he's seeing, and it's the Kung Fu Master, right? The one from the beginning, the one that we saw yesterday fight for rice. He's in there fighting for rice today. So he's in there. He beats that one guy up. And then he says, hey, let me fight 3. And he's like, oh, where do you want to fight 3? He's like, yeah, I want to fight 3 dudes, right? He fights the 3 karate men. They get up. He starts fighting everybody, right? He starts doing kung fu to everybody, right? But these guys, they're young, they're fresh, right? I think he just fought somebody. He just fought one dude on his own. These guys are fresh, right? Straight out of the academy or whatever. And they're kicking the hell out of this boy. They beating the hell out of this boy. And so he's putting up a fight, but they're beating him up too much, right? And he's like landing on the floor. He's a little bloody. He gets up. Instead of keep fighting, he's like, okay, I give up. Thank you. All right, thank you for everything, right? He gets off the mat, and he reaches for the bag of rice he had already won. And as he reaches for the bag of rice, bullet to the head. Bullet through the head. Blood on the sack of rice. And Ip Man, he's watching all this. He just got there, and he's like, hey, what's going on? Right? He's tripping. He's like, hey, what's going on? What is this? And he's talking to the translator, right? The translator who used to be the cop. He's like, hey, what is this? What's going on? Where's Lee? Right? But he's sad. He's mad, but he's sad. But then the general, he looks at the colonel, because it was the colonel who shot him. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, he was reaching for the rice. Even though he lost, I'm going to kill him. And he like threatens to shoot him. He's like, it's a dojo. It's a place of kung fu and whatever. And if you ever do that again, I'll shoot you right here, boy. So we can see the general, he's pretty honorable, right? For his, he's an honorable kung fu man, karate man, a respecter. He respects the martial arts. But the other guy, he's just a sleazeball, right? But Ip Man, he tells the trader, right, the translator. He's like, hey, tell me, did Lee get beaten to death? And the dude was like, oh, yeah. He's like, all right, I'm up next. He's like, no, you can't. He's like, no, I'm up next. Open the gate, right? They let him in, right? He's in there, and he's like, give me 10, right? We just saw 3 fresh out the Black Belt Academy. 3 soldiers just beat up this dude. And he's like, hey, give me 10. And the colonel's like, what? Right? He was like turning away. He's like, what? Who asked for 10? He's like, yeah, give him 10. 10 karate dudes stand up. And they're like, go. And he starts going, right? He gets in the stance. Everybody's doing karate to him at the same time. Karate times 10. Kung Fu times 1. So he's doing karate, right? And they're trying to get him. He's grabbing him, rolling him, breaking the arm. And you see the numbers go down, right? You see him 9, 8, and whatever's next. And he's doing Kung Fu. And he's like, he's hurt. right? He's hurt because it's his friend. He's hurt because there's nothing. He's hurt because what they've done to Japan, they ruined everything. So he's taking everything out. He just saw his friend get shot. His friend is dead. Everything's wrong. And he's fighting with the passion of 1,000 exploding suns. And he's cutting them down. He's cutting them down, all 10 of them, right? And he's beating them up. I don't know. He might have tears in his eyes. He's beating them up. Probably thinking of everybody he's lost. And there's 2 left. Breaks them down. There's 1 left. And the last one, right? He has his head face up in between his knees. And he's just punching him. Punching him. Wing Chun. And they're dead, right? 10 karate men's dead. And he's sad, right? And you could just see him tossing. Boom, sacks of rice. Boom, sacks of rice. Boom, sacks of rice. 10 sacks of rice. That's enough to feed, you know what I mean? They have nothing. 10 sacks of rice. And he picks up the bloody sack of rice that his friend just died on. And he leaves, right? He's a broken man. He's sad. And he leaves. And he goes home and he takes that rice to that guy's wife and kids. And I don't even think he said anything, right? He's just crying. And the wife knows what that means. And she's like, oh. Right? She lost her husband to karate. But now the general's like, hey, who was that? The general was like, who was that? And he's like, oh, that's Ip Man. He's like, okay, make sure he comes back. But he doesn't come back. Ip Man's he doesn't want nothing to do with anything. He's pissed. So then Ip Man, he leaves. He doesn't go back to the tournaments or to the dojo. And we see, you remember I mentioned that his buddy opened up like a cotton factory or a feather factory or whatever it is? Well, now they're at the feather factory and they're getting extorted. So not only do they have to deal with Japanese soldiers oppressing them, now they have other rogue martial artsmen, which is the other guy from the beginning. Remember how like he got challenged by 2 guys? Well, the one that was rude and who was like a douchebag, he's the one leading this gang. And he comes to the factory and he's like, hey, you better give us a percentage of your earnings. And the dude's like, we haven't sold anything. Like we're a torn country right now. I can't sell to anybody. And they're like, we don't care. That's not our problem, right? They boom, elbow to the face, whatever it is. They're beating the hell out of the dude. The son, he goes and he runs to go get Ip Man. He's like, Uncle Ip. And he comes. And by the time Ip Man gets there, they took off already. So they're like, you better have some money by the next time we get here, right? And so Ip Man, he goes and checks on his buddy. And he's like, hey, bro, like, are you all right? He's like, oh, Ip Man, if you were here, you would have been able to protect us or whatever the hell. He's like, oh, sorry, man. I don't teach martial arts or whatever. And then he was like, well, during peacetime, it's okay not to teach martial arts. But now we're a war-torn country. It's your responsibility to teach us to protect ourselves or whatever. So now he's like, all right, we got to do a montage. So now the whole factory, they're learning that, they're doing kung fu, right? They're doing kung fu next to the sewing machines or whatever the mills are, next to the cut engine. They're doing kung fu. They're all working together. They're getting faster. They're having fun. They learned a lesson somehow. So now they all know kung fu, right? So the next time they come, we'll be ready. So the day comes. The bad guys come back, right? And they're like, we're not scared of you, right? They get into their defensive positions. They get into their positions and they're like, we're not scared of you, whatever. We don't care. We're not the same, or whatever it is, right? And the dude's like, oh, you think you're tough, right? He tries to hit him, and they do the Wing Chun block, and they block it, and they block the next one. And they're like, oh, somebody learned a few things, right? So the whole gang starts fighting the whole sewing factory, the cotton factory, right? And it's like a gang, which is like adult to young men, and they're fighting like older women who like sew cotton together and old men who like lift the bags. You know what I mean? It's like mom and pop shops. It's like a mom and pop shop. And they just showed up to beat everybody, but they're in there doing kung fu, right? They're whipping them with the rags, making kung fu their own, finding their own twist on it or whatever, right? But it actually turns out that they're not as strong as these gang members, right? So like, yeah, they are doing kung fu, but the dudes like just straight punch a woman in the head, So they punch the old ladies in the head. So at first they're doing well. They're defending themselves. They stood up for themselves. It's a beautiful thing. But the bad guys have axes. They have some axes because they're bad guys. They have some axes. They're stronger. They're kicking people. whatever it is, right? And now the factory's losing. The factory's losing. The bad guy's about to kill the leader of the factory, the owner, but Ip Man shows up just in time. And he like, the gang leader, he remembers him. The gang leader, he remembers him. He's like, oh, this is the dude that beat me in the beginning of the movie. He's like, oh, you think you're tough? Well, not anymore, right? Because he has an axe. And then Ip Man, he drops like a big old bamboo shaft that for the factory. He grabs it, so now he has like this big old bamboo bow staff, and he starts doing kung fu to him, right, whacking him right in the face. And everybody's like, oh, he can't take us all. Like, well, yeah, he did. He did, because this really happened. So he starts fighting everybody in the factory, and nobody can stand a chance, right? He's like another 10 dudes with Ip Man. Ip Man's indestructible. He can't be beat. So Ip Man's whooping everybody, right? And he's like literally whooping them on their ass, right? Smacking them. They run away. He beat up everybody so bad, everybody starts running away. But the last kid that runs away is Lee's kid brother. The kid brother who lost his kite in the beginning of the movie, who saw them fight. Lee was looking for him. Lee got beaten to death. Dude's in the gang. Ip Man just beat up the gang. He sees the brother. So as they're leaving, he follows them. And it's like, you see Ip Man, he's not like bloodthirsty. It's almost like, he's going to give you a lecture. You're going to get lectured. Like, I might not do kung fu to you. I might not do kung fu to you just now as hard as I can. But I'm going to tell you the truth. You're not going to like it. And then I'm going to let you go. So that's exactly what he does to him. He says something. He's like, you're out here doing this. Your brother this and that, whatever. And then he gives him the 10 that his brother wanted him to have. And Ip Man goes back into the factory. And the kid opens it up and he sees his kite from when he was younger, before the war, this and that. And he's like, oh, my brother. Oh, what have I done? Because we know he's not a bad kid. It's just hard times out here. So he's like kind of a good guy now. Right, so now back in the dojo world, the general, he's like, hey, where's Ip Man? Why hasn't he come back to get more rice or whatever like that? And they're beating up the translator, right? They're beating the hell out of him. They're like, I don't know. All right, we're going to go find him. So they go and find him, and they threaten Ip Man's family. They find where he's hiding. They threaten his family. And they're like, you better come back or else. You better come back or else. They got away, right? They're trying to get away, but they're like, we know who his friends at the factory are. We know what area he lives in. So they corner him, right? They find Ip Man, and they arrest him, right? The soldiers, Japanese soldiers, they arrest him. So now Ip Man's in the jail cell, and the general comes in. Because when I think what it was like, the general was like, hey, you are going to teach my guys your kung fu because you just killed 10 dudes. Remember you killed them? Yeah, you're going to teach that to our guys. So they're going to force him to teach them kung fu. And so Ip Man's like, I'd rather die, bro. But, they speak different languages. He's like, I'd rather die. I don't care. I'm not going to do that. But I will fight you. And right, so the translator's like, he says yes. He said yes, he'll train him. And he would like a respectful duel with the general. Right, because the traitor's, he's still scared. He does have a redemption, right? He does have a redemption. But we're talking about Ip Man right now. So pretty much Ip Man's like, all right, we need to fight. We're going to have to fight. This is it. Me and you are going to fight. So now he's in the cell. The next day they're going to fight. And the general goes in there, tells him something, offers him some food. And then Ip Man, he says something else. And he's like, nah, I don't care about none of that, bro. I don't care about anything. I don't care about anything you got to say. I don't need your food. So now it's the next day, the day of the duel. And the colonel and the general, they're going back and forth. And the colonel's like, why would you fight him? Why not just go kill him? I'll go kill him right now. And the general's like, he challenged me to the fight. He challenged me to a fight because he thinks he's better than me. This and that. So if you go in there and kill him, this and that, whatever, I'll kill you. That's what he's telling. That's what he's telling him. This is the thing between martial artists you wouldn't understand. Get out of here. Make me sick. Now it's the day of the duel. The general's on this side of the ring, and it's like a ring in the center of the town. The general's here on this side in his karate uniform. Ip Man's in this side. He's wearing his kung fu uniform. He's fresh out the jail cell. He's wearing kung fu. And this isn't just a fight between Ip Man and the general. it symbolizes the Chinese people against the Japanese military, right? Because there's like barricades, there's barbed wire, everything like that. Japanese soldiers with guns towards the people. People are there supporting Ip Man, and Ip Man knows what's up. And the colonel, right? The colonel came into Ip Man's cell, and he's like, "Hey, tomorrow I'm gonna be watching the fight from the stands, and if I see you winning, I'm gonna pull my gun out and shoot you before you beat the general." Because like to him, he's like, "You cannot win against the general. That looks good. That looks bad against Japan, Japanese army." So he's like threatening him. So I think he like threatens his family too. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill your family, your son, your buddies at the factory, everybody, right?" So he's threatened, right? So Ip Man, he's there. He's gonna fight this really good general at karate. His wife's being threatened. They're right over there. He sees the colonel. He sees his family. He's like, all right. He's really gonna shoot him. But they get up, right? All right, it's showtime, baby. Kung Fu time, Wing Chun time. So the fight starts. The general takes off, kicks him. Boom, block. Return punches, everything like that. The general's quick. We saw him beat up 3 dudes in the beginning without breaking a sweat. We saw Ip Man beat up 10. No biggie, right? But Ip Man gets serious, right? Because he sees Colonel's right there. My family's right there. What am I going to do? And the fight starts. And they're fast. They're both fast. The general, he's quick with his kung fu. He's kicking and he's not kicking and screaming, but he's kicking and punching them. Wing Chun is doing Wing Chun blocks. Ip Man is doing Wing Chun blocks. He's blocking them, doing like evading, right? He's evading, backing up, stuff like that. And then it's to the point to where he can't just keep blocking. This dude's really coming at him. Super fast punches, super fast kicks, all kinds of karate. You see Ip Man roll up his sleeves, right? And he's like, all right, this what you wanted? You wanted the Ip? So he rolls up his sleeves. He starts doing kung fu back to him, and he's blocking him. And they're both fast, and it's probably one of the best fights, one of the best kung fu v karate fights I've seen, right? And the dude's doing kung fu, dude's blocking it, and they're keeping up with each other, right? And you were like, we haven't seen anybody keep up with Ip Man, but the general's keeping up with him, right? And the general's doing it to him. Boom, boom, boom. Grabs him, flings him, because the general, he's been eating. He's probably been working out. He's fresh. He's fit. Ip Man, he's been, shoveling coal. They don't have food. So he's not at his best right now. But he has to do this, right? He has all of China on his back. And he keeps doing it. And you see flashbacks of his friends dying. He remembers them in the good times. He remembers everything. He remembers all the training he's ever done. He remembers why he's Sifu. Why he's Master Ip. He remembers who the fuck he is. And he's doing kung fu to him. He's beating him, right? And at first you just see them block. Everything's pretty equal. But then you see him really connecting, right? He's connecting, and the general's like, oh, that hurt. Boom, cracked him in the jaw. Boom, cracked him in the ribs, grabbed him, and kicked him, deflected, everything like that. So now the general is losing, right? And the colonel's like, oh, hell no, man. And the colonel's like, oh, no. He starts reaching for his gun. But the traitor, remember the translator, who we call the traitor? The traitor, he like grabs the general. So now the traitor is grappling with the general, with the colonel who shot the other guy. He's grappling so he doesn't take his gun. So while he's grappling, Ip Man finishes the colonel, right? Ip Man keeps doing kung fu to the general, right? And he's doing it, boom, boom, cracking him, boom, serious. Like he turned it up a little bit. He was like a level 7, turned it up to 9. No one's ever seen him at 10. So he turns it up to 9, boom, does kung fu, boom, kicks him, punches him, backs him up to one of the posts in the corner, right? He's in the post in the corner, and he hits him with like 10,000 punches, bro. He probably hits him with like a couple of RPMs, right? Just doing kung fu to him, cracking him. He tries to fall. I think the general falls at one point. He uppercuts him, comes back up, and he does it again, right? Hits him again, and he's doing kung fu to him. Boom, finishes him. Boom. The general's just like boom, taking it like this. Like he's not even like Ip Man's punches are keeping him up, but he's gone. He's lost already. Boom. And the general falls. Boom. General falls. And it's Ip Man. Ip Man standing there. And the crowd's like, Ip Man. And Ip Man standing there, he's looking at the crowd. And you hear a gunshot. And you see the bullet and the blood spurt through Ip Man's shoulder. shoots him through the shoulder, and he falls off the ring. From the ring, boom, he falls all the way to the floor. And the Chinese people, right? The Chinese people that were there supporting Ip Man, they're like, oh, fuck no. So they knock down the barriers and they revolt, right? They fight against everybody. They fight against all the Japanese soldiers. The traitor that was grappling the colonel, he took the gun from the colonel, and it was like a fight. And it was one of those where he's like, boom. And he gets the colonel, right? He gets him, which is good because that colonel was a dick. He's been beating the hell out of the traitor the whole time. Satisfying. You watch that, that's satisfying. So now, it's like a riot. It's a riot, and they use that riot to grab Ip Man, get him to the truck, and to escape. And then the movie essentially ends. Right? The movie ends with when Ip Man escapes, he's in the truck, they're trying to patch him up. And then it kind of tells us like a few of some information. In 1945, the Japanese emperor surrendered the war. The war was finally over. He moved to Hong Kong. So Master Ip, he made it. He made it through the war. He survived the gunshot wound. The war finally ended, and he moved to Hong Kong. And that's where Ip Man 2 picks up. So if you want to know what happens in Ip Man 2, follow. I'll probably get the episode out pretty quick just because I've been out for a while. I had a few. You don't want to hear about all that. Oh, Master Ip. Oh, Master Ip. There's more. All right. There's a lot more of Master Ip. There was a lot of Master Ip before Ip Man even started. I think I just saw a prequel recently. But shout out to my buddy Morty, Nolan Murphy. I love you, kid. I hope you're doing all right. Reach out whenever you want. That goes for all of you guys. You want to reach out? Tell me what movies you like. What do you want to suggest? I'm here for it. I'm Alvy. This is a Cine-Ops podcast. I'll see you next time.